Joining us right now is Fox Senior Judicial Analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. And Judge, good to see you. I saw your tweet. You were happy with this appointment.
Well, yes. I mean, in full disclosure, I was privileged to participate in the selection process. Somewhat of a surprise to me, but I was thrilled to help fill that role for the president. There was a list of 21 people who had been vetted extensively.
He wasn't on that original list, though, right?
Well, there were actually, the list of 21 is two lists, one of 10 and one of 11. I think he was on the second list, but the president-elect at the time kept referring to the list as if it were one. It came out at about a 2 or 3 week interval between the two. And they had a very bright bunch of people examine all of their writings and run it through, you ready for this, an algorithm for Scalia-ness, for references and observations and phrases and citations similar to those of Justice Scalia. And Judge Gorsuch finished in the top 3 on that list. Aside from that, this is a formidable intellect, They're very, very rare judges that not only have the undergraduate and law degree that we all have, but also a PhD in philosophy. This is somebody who shares Justice Scalia's view that the meaning of the Constitution was fixed at the time it was ratified, and it was only changed the 27 times it was amended. It can't be changed by the court, as some members of the court argue today, to fit the government's needs. This is also someone, and this pleases me, guys, a lot, who has a healthy skepticism of the government. He doesn't give the government a pass.
That's what I wrote down.
He wants the government to prove its case, and if it proves its case, it wins. But it's not going to get some favoritism or benefit of the doubt just because it's the government.
And I love what he said about, look, if you agree with every decision, you're probably a bad judge. You have to think outside the box.
That is also a sign of his personal modesty. That's a truism, that a good judge doesn't always agree with the outcome. But very few judges are willing to admit that.
Yeah.
So I was very happy to hear him say that.
I liked it, too.
I did, too. And he seemed like he was groomed for this position. Like every step of his life seems to lead right here.
You know, Donald Trump likes the look. He's straight from Central Casting. I don't just mean the physical look. I mean the personal, professional, and academic background.
The resume.
Yes.
What do you think about Nancy Pelosi's reaction to him?
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, the Democrats are either going to fight this tooth and nail or lay down on this and fight the next one tooth and nail. Now, here's their thinking. We are trading Antonin Scalia for Neil Gorsuch, one originalist, conservative, skeptical about the government for another. That's not going to change the balance of the court. But the next vacancy, assuming it's from Justice Kennedy to the left, that will change the balance of the court, and they may save their firepower for then. If they think they can stop him, it's going to be for political reasons and not for anything in his background. And then Senator McConnell has to decide do we want to change the filibuster rules or not.
Right. Quite frankly, Republican nominees in recent history, and we could talk about Robert Bork or even Justice Sam Alito, have gotten a much harder time than Democratic nominees.
Yes.
Unfair.
Yes. I was very interested in the clip you just ran with Senator Lindsey Graham being interviewed by our colleague John Roberts, and I forgot that Senator Graham, a conservative Republican from South Carolina, voted for Justice Elena Kagan and Justice Sonia Sotomayor, two very, very liberal nominees now on the bench, put there by former President Obama. There are members of the Senate on both sides who think like Senator Graham. If the person is qualified, they're entitled to get on. Just because I disagree with their ideology, I'm not the president. That's Senator Graham's ideology or attitude. That is not Senator Schumer's attitude.
No, but
and he may have a tight leash on the Democrats.
But look at Pelosi. Here's Pelosi's tweet last night.
Say?
Okay, Judge Gorsuch. You got to explain this. Judge Gorsuch's radical views on women's rights are deeply troubling to everyone fighting to protect our care.
She called the appointment hostile.
Okay, so Judge Gorsuch wrote an academic book, not a book that would make it on the New York Times bestseller list, about euthanasia. And in that book, he had a phrase in which he used the following line. You tell me if the following line is radical or unacceptable. It is always wrong knowingly to kill the innocent.
That is not radical.
That's what they're complaining about.
That is not radical.
That's what she says is radical.
Incredible. I'm looking for Chuck Schumer's tweet here. Look at this. Okay, that's not radical at all. I'm sorry, Judge. And here's this, Chuck Schumer. Gorsuch put corporations over workers, been hostile toward women's rights, and been an ideologue. Skeptical that he can be strong, independent justice.
Yeah, but that's a soundbite. You know,
Come
the reality
on, guys.
is that the Democrats, look, he's not going to hold all 48 Democrats. There are too many Democrats who are in states that Trump won.
Correct.
Also,
Up for re-election
and also,
year and a half.
I think many Democrats, I'm a Democrat, many Democrats appreciate the presidential prerogative. Donald Trump is not expected to nominate liberal judges. Also, all of us who want equal protection under the law need the law to be consistently applied.
Correct.
So Congress changes the law, not the United States Supreme
But
Court.
liberals don't think that,
right on
though,
the mark,
Judge.
Don.
Liberals have used the court increasingly in recent years to push a left-wing liberal agenda,
Well,
haven't they?
this began in the FDR years with the threat to pack the court to add more justices to it, because they were upholding traditional understanding of the Constitution and frustrating the New Deal. And ever since then, liberals have used the court to get their agenda through when they could not get it through the Congress.
Now, the Democrats are accusing
it's an
Republicans.
abomination of what the court represents, is it not?
Well,
And by the way,
it's supposed to be, yes.
Right.
I think we should be careful here, too. Not the Democrats. Some Democrats
I think
are
you're right.
challenging
fair
this
enough.
nominee. Many other Democrats, the senators from West Virginia,
Joe Manchin.
Yes, already said that they're going to give him they're going to give him a clear look and confirmation process.
But it is Democrat
all
leadership.
those look, it's the same thing that happens to the right, those on the right.
Yes,
the
it's very.
But you know what?
Partisans on both sides have gridlocked this country.
Some of it is inside the Beltway politics that the public will get sick of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the
Right.
Democrats began saying last night, you stole a seat from us
Come on.
by
Exactly.
not
But-
voting on Merrick Garland. I don't think the public understands or wants to hear that.
This is what I asked Debbie
Nor is it
Wasserman
really an
Schultz
accurate
yesterday.
description.
Debbie Wasserman Schultz came on yesterday, and I asked her straight out,
Did you get combat pay for that
have the
interview?
extreme left, but
I said, did you get combat pay for interviewing her?
yeah, well, I'll tell you. I said, has the extreme left hijacked the party? Because this is what's happening. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about Senator Manchin, you're talking about your own views. Moderate, not extreme. And there's a feeling that the extremes have begun to hijack the
sides.
Democratic
Takes
Party.
one senator to invoke the filibuster. Senator Merkel of Oregon has already said he will. So now they got to deal with this. Either Chuck Schumer has to give him a favor to get him to back down, or the Republicans have to break the filibuster rule, or they have to pull probably eight Democrats loose so they can get 60 votes.
Okay, so that's the confirmation process that
Yes.
you just put a path for us.